1, 2, 3. Welcome to the show.
Can you?
Grab me a positive synergy. I have been doubted through life. Been there and done that with trifling people who told me my style would not work. I told them they wrong. Been struggling too long. This song is for you. I'm proving you wrong. Get out my way. 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 Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Atmos Love Zone. This is a special live, y'all. Today we are going to be putting the focus on finding and trying to gather information on how to find Mia. We kind of broke this a little bit the other day when we had the live when Levi was reading the text messages. And so I wanted to we only gonna be about 20-25 minutes. I wanted to bring on the mom, Miss Shawanda, to come on and just kind of speak to us a little bit, kind of give us a little bit of backstory so that we could all be on the same page. As you see at the bottom, if you have any information, please contact Miss Shawanda at 312-319-1190 or email sharb4632@gmail.com. I'm going to bring Miss Shawanda on screen right now. Good morning, Miss Shawanda. How are you?
Good morning, Atmos. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. So I do appreciate you coming on here and being brave enough to help us understand that that the work is not done when it comes to missing young ladies and missing women. You know, no matter if they are underage, whether they're minors, whether they're grown women, these are still our children. These are still our women and our queens. And so I wanted to bring you on here just so that you can kind of just, introduce yourself to people, introduce your daughter, and just kind of talk a little bit. People that are in the chat, welcome. If you have any questions that are respectful, I will post those questions, and she will also answer some of those questions. If they are disrespectful questions, they will not be answered. Okay, so let's be respectful and understand that this is a mother who is in a pain that a lot of y'all will never know. Her daughter has been missing since 2019. No talk from, no hear from, no see. None of us could deal with that, right? So we understand. We talk about the Savages and the other parents, and so we kind of have an idea. But when you're a parent going through it, there's no substitute for going through something. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is just allow Miss Shawanda to speak to us, and she may answer some questions. If y'all have them in the chat, please put them in the chat. Miss Shawanda, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Atmos. And chat, I'm grateful that you're here to listen. Well, my name is Shawanda. These past 4 years it's been challenging, especially when you have a daughter that you have not seen or heard from in 4 years. My daughter was a senior at UIC, and her behavior started changing. It started changing, meaning that she stopped calling. I wasn't able to see her as much. And I'm going to pause for a second, okay, Atmos?
Yes, ma'am.
Because even though I felt like I had this under control, it can be emotional, especially when you're now speaking to a live audience who don't know you. They don't know your heart. They don't know how you raise your child. And I know there's going to be a lot of judgment. And I understand that. And I have to accept that. But the point is, I haven't seen my daughter. I haven't heard from my daughter. My daughter was a senior at UIC, 2 weeks away from getting ready to graduate last time I seen her. The last day I seen my daughter was April 28th of 2019. And that day was because I was returning her back to school at UIC after my family and I had went and got her from school after being told that she was in a cult. And then I found out some other things. I would definitely ask that your viewers go to my Facebook page, which is Shawanda, because my story is more so in layers. It's not something that happened like last week and I can say, okay, my daughter came up missing last week and that's 7 days and she was with this person or that person. Over the 4 years, I was able to gather a lot of information that connects to what happened. So I've been asked to give my story in like a 5 or 10 minute. I just want someone telling me, oh, just tell me what happened. I can't give my story in 5 or 10 minutes. What I can say is I haven't seen nor heard from my daughter in 4 years. Now, I want to say something because I know that when you put information out here, if you make a mistake on a date, a time, a name, a place, those things are being picked over because you made a mistake. But no one wants to be in this situation because I never thought that I have to find out, have to remember dates, times, names, a lot of stuff, and being put on the spot to tell these things. One thing I do know is that my daughter Mia Battle, I haven't seen or heard from in 4 years. My family haven't seen or heard from her. That's the most important thing. I'm in the Chicagoland area. I've been to the police, and I've been to the local police. I've been to the Chicago police. I've been to the FBI. I reached out to all of the news stations. I reached out to talk shows. I've listened to the YouTubers, and I found myself listening to Teen Truth. I don't know if I should go into how I got there, Atmos, or not.
You can speak. This is your floor. Just the more information people know, that it'll help them to kind of build a storyline. They can start backtracking because people do want to know how to help you get to where you get
And
close.
yes, and that's exactly why I'm here, because I am now in need of the public's help because I can't get it from law enforcement. And please know that I'm not talking about law enforcement because in the end, I'm going to need their help too.
So how about this? As far as the Teen Truth stuff go, that really don't, we only got to go there. Let's just focus on what you have done, what your response has been, and what you would like to get help doing. Like, how can we help you get the information that you need?
How your channel can help me, and any other channel can help me, is by bringing awareness, putting my daughter's name out there, putting my story out there, so that it's not like she's forgotten. I want her to know that I am in search of her. She's not a young lady that's fighting whatever battle she's fighting on her own. I want her to know that I got her. I got her. But again, it's only so far my one voice can go. On my Facebook page, I don't have a lot of Facebook friends on my Facebook page. It's maybe about 60, not even 67 anymore.
Okay.
But it's private. But everything regarding my daughter is public.
Do you see the question that's on the screen, Miss Battle?
Anyone? All I see is everyone can see and hear you.
Okay, so there's a question on the screen that says,
okay. I think I may have just, okay, it's nothing on the screen that I see.
Okay, so there's a question on here that says, do you know if Mia is with the guy Justin?
Justin is not his name. His name is Austin. And from what the last person, he was the last person I knew her to be with. He went to her school.
Okay. Lil Red, if you have any information that can help her that's updated where this name Justin might have popped out with her daughter, please send that to her email or call her after this live, because we don't want to leave any stone covered. We want to uncover every rock, pull up every leaf, pull up every branch, pull up everything to try to find out what we can for her daughter.
And I'm just assuming maybe she thought I said Justin when I said Austin.
Okay. Someone said he groomed her. says our prayers that God keep her safe and bring her back to you. Oh, she meant to say Austin.
Yes.
Yes, Austin is the name, Lil Red. Austin is the correct name. Yes. So she said she meant to say Austin.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So what happened, Miss Shawanda, when you did go to the police? What did they do? How did they react? What was the
Which police? Because I've been to several police. I mean, usually when I go, it's been the first time I had gone, I had went to UIC's police because that was the school that my daughter was attending.
okay.
And they did a well-being check. That was in April of 2019.
Okay.
And they
So
did
so in April of 2019, you
yes.
did go to the UIC, which is the college your daughter attended, to ask that police department to do a well-being check on your daughter.
Yes, and actually, I want to be specific on the dates. It was actually February of 2019 because I think I scheduled an appointment with the chief of police in February. And let me calm down.
Okay.
I scheduled an appointment in February. He met with me, I think it was on February, the end of February, sometime like that. I can get the exact dates.
Okay.
And then I had gone back to the school in March, twice in March, and I went back in April.
Okay.
When I spoke to the police, their response is usually, your child may not want anything to do with you. She's of age. Maybe she ran away. The thing about that was when I put the missing person report in, the detective, I don't know if I can give the detective name or not. Can I do that or?
Yeah, sure. I don't care.
Okay. The detective name was Detective Austin, which is a coincidence.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
You can't forget that.
Yeah, I'll never forget the name. Detective Austin. And I was reaching out to him, letting him know what was going on. But it was more so me reaching out to him after I had found the missing person report with the Chicago police. And he was assigned to the case. They ended up closing the case because they told me what I was informed, and I do have the police report. They closed the case because they said that your daughter don't want anything to do with you. And I said, how is that possible? I haven't seen or heard from my daughter. I said, did you speak to her? He told me yes, that they did. However, when I pulled the police report shows that he reached out to the numbers that I had given him, but he made no contact. It says that the first time he reached out, the number was not working. I wonder how the number wasn't working when that number is on my line. So the number was definitely working. The second thing was said was that the next time he reached out, he called again, and a young lady answered and said he had the wrong phone number. So one, you did not talk to her, not my daughter, because based upon your police report, the first time you called, the number wasn't working. The second time, you said that the person said that they had the wrong number. Then it's the address that I gave. He said that in the police report, you can pull the police report, I have a copy as well. It said that he went to this address and he couldn't get in. The gates were locked. Now, I don't know what address he went to, but the address that I had given him from the last known address that I had known, there was no gate. So I'm not understanding what fence you went to, what gate you went to that was locked when this address did not have a gate. So I was told that they closed the report too because she was supposed to have renewed her driver's license in September of 2019. Remember, I said the last time I seen or heard from my daughter was April of 2019. So that was valid reason for them to have closed the case. I had reached back out, spoke with the sergeant, his supervisor, and I said, I'm just not understanding, how is this case closed? And he said, your daughter just don't want anything to do with you. I mean, literally, aggressively like that. Your daughter just don't want anything to do with you. I said, but how do you all know that? And he said, this case is closed. So I left it as that. But I went and filed a FOIA request to see this actual police report, in which what I just shared with you all was what was in it. I reached back out again. I said, how is it possible that my daughter didn't want anything to do with me when Detective Austin never spoke with me? I mean, I spoke with my daughter, nor did he come face to face with my daughter. So that was the Chicago police. I too contacted the sheriff in October, I think this was of 2020, based upon, and the reason I contacted the sheriff department was because I always listened to Larry, at the time it was Team Truth. He had stated on his channel that, when he was putting out a lot of information, it was a lot of information that was actually like on point with information that I had known to be true. He had said that Bridgeport, which was the area in which I had found out my daughter left the campus and she was staying in this apartment. Larry had said that Bridgeport was R. Kelly's people stomping ground. If he pulls, go into his records, I don't know if he typed the word Bridgeport is going to come up, but he said that was R. Kelly's people stomping grounds. So when I had seen this report, it came on the news of this Chinese guy, he was sex trafficking these young girls. It was a block away from the building that my daughter was supposed to have been staying in. So I reached out to the number that was attached to that report that was on television, and I got the sheriff department. And the sheriff department had told me, I reached out, gave them my story. I told them that I felt that my daughter was a possible victim of R. Kelly. And that's how it's many things that connect my story to the people that was around R. Kelly and the R. Kelly situation.
So I got a question for you. Hold your place where you at.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to make sure that we're all clear. So the first time that you reached out to the police was the UIC police. That was in February 2019.
Yes. And please let me correct that. I don't want to give a wrong date. I can give that date as well.
Okay, that's fine. And then you did reach out, but the last time you saw her was on April 28th. So was there a point in time that you did see her after you reached out to the police in February?
Yes.
Okay.
It was a couple of times when I reached out to the police in February, and they told me that they did a well-being check, and they said this was when my daughter was on the campus, and they said she didn't want anything to do with me, and I just that didn't sit well with me. I'm like, this don't make no sense. What could I have done to her as her mother?
Right.
My daughter's still on campus for her to not want to have anything to do with me. She's on campus.
Okay.
We didn't have no problems. So I had said, let me catch my daughter by herself.
Okay.
Because every time I would see my daughter, when I would see her, it was with the gentleman, Austin, the young man, Austin. And it was like he was her bodyguard or something.
What's Austin's last name? Do you know?
Yes, it's spelled Gharib. But there was a hyphen, so it's Buen, Benu, Gharib. But what my daughter ended up telling me was that Austin was his middle name. Mm-hmm. Jonathan is his first name. Jonathan Austin Benu Gharib is the full name.
And he was the last person you saw your daughter with?
That I saw my daughter with. However, I found out some other things from people that was reaching out to me when I posted my daughter's picture on Facebook. And they was telling me about some other people that had come to the college.
Okay.
I don't want to jump all over the place. I want to make sure I finish up with the sheriff department.
Sure.
Because you asked me which departments, which law enforcement agencies did I contact. When I contacted the sheriff department, I think that was in 2020, October of 2020, when that article came out, where it was on the news about the Chinese guy that was trafficking young girls. So, and the only reason I reached out to that number was because Larry had said that Bridgeport was R. Kelly's People's Stomping Grounds, based upon one of his lives that I had watched. And I reached out, and my daughter, she lived a block away. Her apartment, from what I was told, because my daughter was no longer on campus. I didn't know she was no longer on campus. Was a block away from that particular address from one of those young ladies was being trafficked. And it was like the address, I don't know it offhand, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, I think it was where my daughter addressed, it was 480 26th or 28th Street, if I'm correct. And and this is in Chicago, Illinois, the address that I did not know about. The sheriff had told me that they spoke with her. This is what they told me. Oh, after I gave them all my information, they say, "Good news, Miss Battle. We actually we put eyes on your daughter." First, they told me that they went to where she was at. I said, "Oh, well, where is she at?" They couldn't give me that information. Then I was told that she came to she came to the station or something like that. But let me go back to them saying that they went to where she was at. They said they went to where she was at. It was a young man, I guess supposed to have been a boyfriend from what they told me. And he was right there, which was kind of strange to me, because you telling me that you went to a place that supposedly be where my daughter was at. I put in a missing person report, and you interview her in front of a young man I told you, I given you the name of the young man, Austin. I'm sorry, keep going. Okay, I had given the name of the young man, Austin, and yet and still, and I'm saying something is wrong, but you interview her in front of a young man, which you're not telling me the name of. But then I'm told that she went to the police station, went to their station. And they told me if I reach out to my daughter again, that she was going to put a restraining order on me. And my response is, they may as well get ready to put that restraining order on me, because something is wrong. So one, I was told she went to the station. Two, the next thing I was told that they went to her place. Which one was it? There was too many different stories that I'm being told, which is not adding up. Now, I don't want to leave off of the fact that when I had went to UIC, back in 2019, after going to the police and having to go and meet with the young man, trying to see my daughter when she was not around Austin, my daughter was working in the library. So I went to the library. I'm not going to make this part long. I'm just going to get to the main points. I went to that library, and when my daughter seen me, so, I was, the first day was like, she didn't work here. I'm like, my daughter works here. She's been working here 3 years at the UIC's library, and she worked at the high school library for 4 years. I said, I know my daughter worked here. Then I showed them a picture of her. They said, oh yeah, she do work here. She'll be here in about an hour. So I waited. What was kind of strange was when I was waiting on my daughter, who was supposed to be there in an hour, this lady comes. She just comes from the upstairs. Strange looking lady comes from the upstairs, and she says, she come waving like her little fingers, like I was a kid or something. And I'm looking at her, and she says, when was the last time you seen, no hello, no nothing, just doing this. When was the last time you seen your daughter? Now, because I was there on business, meaning my business was to find out what was going on with my daughter, I wasn't there for small talk, and I didn't know this woman. I was told, she said, when was the last time you seen your daughter? And she seen a look in my face. And she said, oh, I'm Mia's teacher. Now, when she said that, it kind of calmed me down a little bit, because I'm like, okay, this is her teacher. Let me kind of calm down. I said, oh, okay, what class does she take of yours? She said, oh, no. She's my student. Don't student and teacher, isn't that the same thing? So she says to me, I said, She said, she's my student. I said, again, I said, what class did she take of yours? She said, when was the last time you seen your daughter? I said, it's been a couple months. And her and a gentleman walk away. This is as I'm waiting on my daughter at the school because she's on her way to work. They walk away. There's no bad, no nothing. So as I'm waiting, see my daughter walk in, you know, she walks in, she gets on the escalator. So I go on the escalator behind her and I, you know, want to surprise her. And I tap my daughter on the shoulder, you know, like tap on the shoulder. You would have thought that I was some type of a monster something. The way my daughter looked at me. It was like I scared her now. It's natural when you ain't used to seeing your mother come to your job and that, you know, she catch you off guard. And usually it's like, hey, Ma, oh, what you doing here? But that was not the case. When my daughter seen me, it was this fear that she had gotten over her, which was strange. So when Tim, I don't mean to say Tim because I don't know the man personally. So when the Clarys, when he said that, when he seen his daughter, when he went into that the courtroom.
You mean the Savages?
The Savages. See, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you for correcting me. When the Savages say, when he said he seen his daughter and he went into that courtroom, the way his daughter looked at him, like with this disgust or scaredness, I understood that. Because the way my daughter looked at me, it was the same way. So we get up to the top of the escalator and I kind of, you know, tell my daughter to come to the side. We at the top of the escalator, but we moved off to the side so we weren't blocking the people coming up. I'm answering this question because you asked me, was there another time I seen my daughter outside?
Yes, ma'am. We
get to the top of the escalator and we get to the top of the escalator. I said, Mia, what's going on? Why I haven't seen you? Why are you running? I had to pop up here because you know, every time I see you, you're with Austin. She said, I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm like, Mia, what you mean you don't want nothing to do with me? What have I done to you? She said, I just want to be left alone. These are curt answers. I don't want nothing to do with you. I just want to be left alone. Now, I'm standing in disbelief because I'm like, Mia, I'm not understanding where's this behavior coming from. First of all, my daughter's appearance wasn't even looking the way they usually look. My daughter is like looking empty inside. When I tell you, my daughter you can look at that picture that's behind you, your chat. My daughter had a smile that when she smiled, it lights up a room. My daughter's eyes was bright with love and compassion behind it. When we were standing at the top of that escalator, she looked empty. And she said, I just want to be left alone. I said, if I had to come here every day, I ain't going nowhere. So because I had checked my daughter's bank account at the time when I had access to her bank account, because I was the one that helped set the bank account up, I seen that my daughter only had $2 in her account. What you doing with just $2 in your account when you're a saver? So I go, so I'm going up there too to give her some money. When I went in my wallet to give her money, my daughter said, if you give me money, I'm going to donate it. I'm just, when I tell you all this stuff is hitting me like a brick because I'm not prepared for these responses. Now, I can't remember exactly what my daughter said. Oh, I know what it was. I said, Mia, I looked her in her eyes. I said, Mia, I carried you 9 months. You don't think I know when you happy, when you sad? You don't think I know when something wrong? My daughter responds to me, which hit me again like a brick. Well, that was your choice. Nobody asked you to do that. Now, at this point, because I'm not knowing what's going on, remember, this is the beginning of when I'm seeing stuff and I'm talking to my daughter. She said, that was your choice. Nobody asked you to do that. I'm in my feelings now because I'm the type of mother that my daughter, she wasn't raised disrespecting me, you know, elders. This was not her normal behavior. So what I did, and I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I didn't. I stepped up. So remember, we had came up to the escalator. My daughter's standing in front of me. So she's in front of me and I'm looking at her. I stepped up because we're in the library too. I stepped up in my daughter's face and I whispered to her, "Who do you think?" I'm not going to say it was this night. "Who do you think you talking to?" I said, "I don't know who you've been around that don't have respect for their parents, but you need to stop hanging around them because you know I don't play that." My daughter, for some moment, snapped out of it. Whatever she said, "Mama," "I'm sorry." I stepped back when she said that. Now, to the left of us, I'm not noticing that there was a man and a woman to the left of us. But because when you go to UIC and you come up on the library, there's escalators, and to the left there's the elevator. Now I'm not paying attention to the elevator and the man and woman over there. I'm focusing on my daughter because my daughter's behavior wasn't right. My daughter says to me, "Mama, the elevator came several times since we've been here." Remember, she done snapped out of whatever she was in. She said, "Mama, the elevator came several times since we've been here. They not gonna move." This is what my daughter tells me. Me being in my feelings and not paying attention to the people, the two people that was to the left of us, a man and a short woman, a taller man and a shorter woman. I said, "I don't give a dang, who the F they are. I'm talking to you. I don't care if they don't leave. What they gonna do to me?" This is what I say to my daughter. At that moment, too, my daughter was probably giving me clues that Mama, something wrong. I went to hug my daughter because, again, I'm not understanding what's going on. I went to hug my daughter to let her know that I'm here. My daughter stood. When I tell you, this was unbelievable to me. My daughter didn't lift her arms up. She stood like a little soldier. She did not lift her. You know how you go to hug your mother? My daughter didn't lift her arms up to hug me. And at that point, when I seen that she looking empty inside, she don't lift her arm up. She telling me these people not gonna move. I'm not paying attention because I didn't understand fully what was going on. She said to me, "Don't come back up here." I went and hugged her again. She didn't move like zombie, literally didn't move. I hugged her. I stood back. I said, "Mia," I touched her arm. I said, "Mia, I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna let you get to work, but I will be back." I went to the financial aid department to a lady. I just like, it's so much. I really can't tell everything, but every
How
time.
about this? If we could, I want to continue this. I know I said we went a little bit over.
Yeah.
I want to continue. So let's remember from the financial aid part. We're gonna come back later on. I'll let you know what time and I'll schedule it, and we're gonna continue. So in the meantime, there was two questions that came up. Number one, how old is Mia now?
Mia is now, she just turned 26 in February.
She just turned 26. Okay. Another question someone had in here is Austin African American, or what's his race?
Austin is Hispanic and Iranian.
Okay. He's Hispanic and Iranian. Okay. Let me see. There was another question. Let me see if I can. So this is part one. Okay. Y'all got to understand, she has years and years of evidence, of memories of that. Me and her been talking for at least about a couple of months now.
Longer than that.
Longer than that, right? And I've also we just been gathering information, understanding it. It took us time. This isn't something that we rushed out and just jumped on. We've been talking about doing this for months.
Yeah.
But it's just it come a time when it's like, okay, it's time to go ahead and get this information out here. So that's why we're doing it today. We're going to come back probably later on, depending. I'm gonna get with you and see what time later if you have time available.
Yeah.
I want to come back on later on tonight and continue this conversation. Just remember, go ahead and speak. I know you gotta say something.
I'm sorry. I just want to let people know, I don't want people that's listening to think that I'm all over the place. I'm not. Again, this is layers and years of information that I had to literally put together. And all of the people whose name that's going to be mentioned, especially when you go onto my Facebook page, it's a connection to all of them. So this is not something like this woman just throwing stuff out. She throwing out names. No, that's not it.
And let's just address one thing here. You got people in here talking about this girl was abused by her mother and all this. Iced Out has a really good response. She says some people got to go back to school. The girl Mia was in college. If she was abused, she wouldn't have waited until 2019 to stop talking to her mother. In 2019, she was what, 22?
She was 20, just turned 20.
Okay, so kill that she was abused by her mother crap. She was a grown, stop that.
You
Okay.
know, and Adams, thank you. You know what? I'm glad someone said that. Thank you for saying that. Do you know that has been what's been stopping people from helping me? Because someone, and whoever said that she was abused by her mother, guess what? That person is connected to my daughter.
Right.
Type of connection.
That same person has put multiple messages in here discouraging you and discouraging the interview, saying you crazy and all this kind of stuff. That's the kind of person that knows something about this.
That's somebody. Do you know, in addition to that, do you know when I posted on my Facebook page my daughter's picture, do you know someone had been reaching out to people who shared my daughter's picture? They was reaching out to the people privately and saying, remove her picture from your page. That mother was beating on her daughter. Her daughter and her mother the daughter and the mother don't get along. Do you know in the UIC, the police report, the UIC police report, because see, it have to be a part two to this, because I have to tell you about when my family, we all went to the school. Mm-hmm. So when I tell you in the police report, it even shows that Austin saying that I beat my daughter. Now, I'm going to provide you with the police report that has a lot of redactions to it. Mm-hmm. Why would my daughter's police report from UIC have a lot of redactions on it? Why?
Whoever this Chrissy Theom is, did she graduate? I heard this lady was abusing Mia. Did she graduate? Did she ever graduate?
From what I was told, yes, I did receive something saying that she didn't walk across the stage. Okay. She didn't pick up her cap and gown. Someone gave me her cap and gown, but she didn't pick up her cap and gown, even though she paid for it.
Okay. All right. So
that is in there saying that.
We're going to come back on tonight. I'm thinking, let me see. I'm thinking of probably about 8:30 and 9, if that's not too late for you.
It's not, nothing is too late when it comes to my daughter.
Okay.
Nothing.
So I'm going to come back. We'll communicate throughout the day. We're going to come back tonight. So all of y'all that are here that have questions, think of your questions, come back tonight, and we're going to continue this conversation. Remember, we left off at the financial aid at UIC, and we're going to talk about when you and the family did kind of intervene to try to, and listen, y'all, there is no perfect way to try to get your child out of a bad situation. So for anyone that's out here judging, whatever, listen, put yourself in that situation to see how you will think about every way possible to reach your child. Okay. So we're going to come back tonight. Thank you so much for this part one. We will talk later. Okay.
You're welcome.
All right. Y'all have a blessed day. I'll see y'all tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. No problem. Bye-bye.
Bye.